So with Pence, Christie, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum all entering the race this week, what do voters need to know? Let's bring in News Nation's political editor now, Chris Stirewalt. Chris, it is always good to see you. And let's start with that big question. How many candidates is too many? Because some critics are saying this paves the way to a Trump victory.
Well, that's certainly what the former president thinks. He wants things watered down in that probably majority of the Republican Party that would like somebody other than him. And that's how he won in 2016. That's how he thinks he's going to win again in 2024. But this is a very different race, and this is a very different time. This is the part in the story where the Republican voters are going to kick the tires on a bunch of candidates. They're going to look at people, they're going to see who they have the most confidence in, who lines up best for them, where they feel the strongest attachment. Then what starts to happen once debates begin and once you start to get into the fall of this year, that's when people's opinions will start to harden. So it doesn't matter how many get in. It matters how many get out. And I think I listened to New Hampshire Governor Chris Stirewalt in his interview with our colleague last night, Chris Cuomo, talking about that, talking about the challenges for Republicans. And I think he hit it right on the head. It's not how many get in. It is by the end of this year, if you don't have a chance and you don't have a runway to get where you need to go, it's time to drop out. So now, the more the merrier. Later on, that's when it becomes consequential.
You know, and you mentioned debates. And speaking of that, the Republicans just scheduled their first debate for August 23rd. Former President Trump may not be there. Does it make a difference?
Well, that is if he makes good on that. Trump needs the debates just as much as anybody else does in this sense. He wants to be the story. The way he functions is by being the story. Now, he may be just negotiating to try to get more favorable treatment, doesn't want to sign a pledge, doesn't want to do this. He's always negotiating. Donald Trump is always negotiating. So maybe it's just that. But I don't think it would be good for him to not be on the stage. As I said, this is the part where the candidates are kicking the tires. And as they watch somebody like Tim Scott, they hear, I mean, think about what Chris Christie is going to say about Donald Trump, whether Trump's on stage or not. If you're on stage, at least you have a chance to try to rebut it.
You know, as we mentioned earlier, according to that News Nation Decision Desk headquarters poll, voters would rather have a third-party candidate than either Trump or Biden. Is that surprising to you?
No, I mean, have you seen politics ain't so hot these days, right? There's broad dissatisfaction in the American public with the choices on offer and a retread of the 2020 election. We know from our polling and from others that this is a matter of deep dissatisfaction. So there's certainly an appetite out there. And we have people. We have maybe it'll be Joe Manchin. Maybe it'll be Cornel West. Maybe it will be Robert Kennedy Jr. Maybe as he works his way through this democratic process, maybe he finds his way out as an independent run. Maybe Trump doesn't win and he runs. The possibilities are real, and I think this is going to be a wild and woolly general election, whatever happens in the primaries.
Wild and woolly. All right, Chris Stirewalt, it's always good to see you. Thanks so much for your time.
You bet.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.